Hi, everyone. Welcome to 45 Minutes of Yoga. My name is Claire. Lovely to have you here today. We'll be doing some floor work and some standing work. Look after yourself. Yoga can be fun, it can be challenging, and hopefully it'll get you nice and warm. I do encourage you to maybe have a block or a book and a towel for your knees if you need to. Feel free to do all the poses or feel free not to do all of them. We're going to start today straight over on our hands and knees. So bring yourself over onto your hands and knees, and we'll start to create some movement through our spine. Hands are right under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. Start by tucking the tail, and as you do that, you'll create a little lift through the upper back. Continue that lifting action until your ribs lift, let your head dangle, no need to force it down. Then reverse the movement. So you lift the butt cheeks and the tailbone up. It creates a little dip down through your lower back and down to your ribs. Gently look forward without overarching the neck. Then repeat that. I encourage you to close your eyes now. With your eyes closed, try and take your awareness internally. So try not to think about or be distracted by anything outside of your body. Listen to my voice and my cues, of course, but essentially stay engaged into movement. So as you continue to inhale, you'll get just a little bit more length through the spine. Be strong and grounded through your arms as you do that. As the bottom of that arch down, keep the belly lifted in. So when you roll back up and lift everything upward, it's easy to engage your core, your deep abdominals. Go for one or two more. Find the center line of your body, nose, belly button, groin bone, one beautiful line. Tuck the tailbone under and feel the entire midline of your backbone. On your next inhale, tuck your toes under onto little toe pads. As you exhale, press your butt cheeks back onto your heels, reach your arms forward. So it's a variation of pose of the child. I'd like you to be active or dynamic. That means you're going to rock your upper body just a little bit from side to side, feeling a stretch happen through the arms and the side of the shoulders. Come through the middle when you've done a couple more. You'll let your forehead gently rest on the ground. Take a deep breath in. Breathe all the way out and repeat. So watch the journey of the air in through the nose, down the back of the throat. Feel your ribs expand wide. Exhale fully and see if you can feel the core pulling inside your body as you breathe out. From here, pull yourself up. Take your knees back a little bit further. You're going to lower yourself down onto the ground for another little warm up for our spine, like a sphinx pose. So a baby cobra it can be called, but it's a supported one. So your elbows are on the ground under your armpits. Your hands are flat and wide. So you want the hands out wide, better for the shoulders. Push through your arms. So two actions. Push down through the floor. Feel how that lifts the ribs. And then gently push your hands forward at the same time. You get a little bit more height. So now your belly is falling toward the ground. So work against gravity. Pick up your belly and pull it inside your body and then breathe. So as you breathe, expand the rib cage. As you exhale, keep driving through your arms. There should be no stress in your back, just a nice little wake up. Take one more breath and then gently release. We're going to wake up the muscles now instead of the mobility, the actual strength. You're going to take your hands behind your back. Feet will be down. Top of the feet pressed down into your floor. And then here, it's really hard to pull the belly inside the body, but do your best. Can you hold hands behind your back? If you can, do it. If not, just bring them behind your back as close together as you can. Start to push your fists and your fingers down towards your feet until you've got a really long neck. So the head and the first few rib bones are just hovering off the ground, but you're not trying to lift so much that your lower back gets compressed. So you pull the belly in to keep the lower back long and feel instead effort through the upper back. So squeeze the shoulder blades. Can you breathe? Just feel that incredible strength in the upper back. At the same time, a beautiful long line crown of head, right down to tailbone, then very gently release. Take one arm out to the side. It can be like a capital T with the fingers spread wide and the arm at right angles to the shoulders and the waist. Or you can also bend the elbow to make like an E shape. So the elbow's at 90. That's the arm you're going to stretch. So turn away from that extended arm. Push off your opposite arm and roll your shoulders over towards your stretching arm. That might be enough. Or your top leg, you can dangle it behind you as well. The head can rest on the ground if you wish to. Take a deep breath in, feel a stretch in the bottom arm, chest and shoulder area. And then we'll gently release back to the center and change sides. So same arm, or rather same type of arm, either elongated or bend it like a little capital E. You're going to turn away from your stretching arm and just gently start to peel your body so you're at right angles to the floor. Maybe top leg lifts, maybe head rests on the ground. So the hand that's not stretching, you can use it to stabilize. You can use it to press just a little bit more if you want to, but there's no need to force it. And as you breathe there, you want to feel that bottom ribcage muscle getting a stretch, then gently release all the way back. So now your upper body should feel good. So let's focus on the lower. Push up strongly, pull the core up as you come up, dog pose. So tuck your toes, lift your knees in the air and push to a V. Keep the knees really strongly bent, strongly bent. Start to lift the tailbone like we did on all fours. Drive your hands forward and down like we did in the Sphinx. So we really want to feel the ground wherever you are and engage with the muscles that contact the floor. And then from here, just gently peel one heel toward the floor, then lift it and peel the other. How does that feel? I did stairs in lockdown, some sprints, and I can feel my calves. And so notice that. Notice the movement and the exercise that you do from a day-to-day process and see how that impacts on your body. It's nice to have a little bit of soreness, not good to have a lot of stiffness. Come to a still spot. Keep the knees a long way bent, so it's kind of like a crouch. You're going to bring yourself into a high push-up. You can put the knees down or make a full body one. So inhale, pull yourself forward, squeeze your core, lift the back of the neck, push your arms, take a breath in, bend the knees without touching the floor, shoot your tailbone back again into that crouch. Let's do that 2 more. So inhale, come forward. So now the legs are getting warm. Exhale, bend the knees, push back. The core is getting woken up as well. Do that 1 more. So inhale, shoot to that really nice, strong push-up, knees or toes. Bend the knees. If they're on the ground, lift them as you shoot back. And then settle yourself into a dog pose. Maybe straighten the legs a little bit, maybe not. Keep that sense of length in your body as you breathe. Can you feel the rib cage expand? Can you get any stress and tension out of the neck and jaw? But keep strength working. Little finger, thumb outside of your forearms. So not loading the wrist, but feel the muscle squeeze outside of the upper arms. Open the shoulder blades. And gently walk your feet up towards your hands. So you're in a forward bend. It's your first forward bend. So if you're stressed in forward bends and your body doesn't like them, you can always fold your elbows and place them on your thighs like I have. Otherwise, you can dangle. So you can make this one active by pushing through the floor. So active in your feet, spread the toes wide. You can be active by keeping the muscles of the legs on. You can then let the upper body soften if you feel comfortable. Maybe make a couple of yes and no's. Feel that release happening through the neck. And walk your feet together. Bend the knees, keeping the heels on the ground. Lift your head. You can place your hands on your thighs if you want to. Lift your ribs away and let yourself come all the way to standing. Your first Tadasana. Shoot your arms up. Tadasana is standing tall like a mountain. Maybe hold hands at the top, maybe not. Take a little tip to one side. Feel that beautiful side body stretch. Breath in through the middle as you inhale and take that little tip to the other side. pull in your core as you come through the middle. Inhale, open your arms if they're not, and then gently hold hands behind your back like you did when you were down on the mat. It's the same thing. Belly is in, shoulder blades squeeze, press your hands all the way down your feet, and think about the head being right up on top of your body. So avoid their neck forward, pull it back. Take a couple of breaths there. Inhale, inhale, inhale. And if you can, really slow down that exhale. Shoot your arms in the air, breath in. Big extended mountain. Bend the knees and fold to the floor. Can you get all the way down? Take a little breath here, and as you exhale, take the right foot back as far as you can. If it doesn't go very far, you can pick the left foot up and bring it forward. From this lunge position, make the back leg strong. Take a breath in. Lift the hips, make a pyramid. So this is where if you have a block, you can place your hands on blocks if you need to increase your arm length. And repeat that 2 more. So inhale as you come forward, maybe look forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, peel yourself back. Maybe the ball of the front foot lifts. 1 more time. So the focus when you come forward is the back leg hip flexor, which is right where my hand is on the front of the thigh. Focus when you go back is the front leg hamstring, which is at the back of that front thigh. Come forward as you breathe in. Pick up your left foot, step it back into a dog pose. Take a big breath in your dog pose. As you exhale, come forward onto all fours, so a small box. Bring the hands under the shoulders if they're not. Lift the tailbone, gently lift the head, arch down as you inhale. Like we did in the warm-up, tuck your tailbone, lift the ribs, drop the chin as you exhale. Do that 1 more time only as you inhale. Then press back into pose of the child again as you exhale. Walk the hands forward. Rock from side to side a little bit again. And then inhale, come all the way up again. Carry yourself down to the mat. Be strong as you lower yourself down. Hands behind your back again. Squeeze your hands together. Feet are on the earth. Pull the belly in. Lift the head. First couple of rib bones. Breath, breath, breath. Then exhale, release. Thumbs under your armpits. Use your core. Push up strongly. Tuck your knees. Lift the hips. You're back in your dog pose. Take 3 breaths in dog pose, doing any variation of pedaling out through your feet or being still. Once again, just reconnect to the sense that you're anchored, you're grounded, you're strong, hands and feet, balancing the weight. Then walk your feet to your hands. You're in your forward bend again, second time round. Maybe it feels a little more comfy. So you fold your elbows and dangle, or once again, support. And so in a yoga class over time, you want to learn how to do all the modifications that are going to make your body feel good, and you'll change them up. Some days you'll work a little deeper, other days less so. Gently relax the arms again, walk the feet together, that little squat with the knees are bending, yeah? So inhale, look forward. This time fold again as you exhale. Bend again as you inhale to the squat, lifting your arms and your head stand. So go up, maybe back a little bit, and bring your hands above your head. Standing mountain pose. Hold hands if you wish to, side, side. So just enjoy that movement, breathing into the center, breathing out as you tip. When you come through the center, take an inhale, take your hands behind your back again. This time, 1 breath only. So breath in, breath in, breath in. Bend the knees with the hands there if you wish to. Fold forward with the hands if you wish to. For 1 more breath, then gently release your hands to the floor. Take a breath in. There's your baby squat. This time it'll be the left leg. Step it all the way back. And remember, you can wiggle that back foot back, or you can pick the front foot up and shoot it forward. Use a block if you wish to. Back leg is strong. This is your lunge. It's an inhale. You lift your hips, you rock back. This is for your front leg hamstring as you exhale. Come forward again as you inhale. So squeeze that back thigh. Then gently rock back. Should be feeling kind of good now. Yeah, we've been going for 10 minutes or so the body should be getting warm. You've got one more time. So gently lift the hips and rock back. When you come forward, you're going to pick up your right leg, step it back into your dog pose. Take one big breath in dog pose, come forward, pop your knees back on the mat, hands under shoulders. Lift your tailbone and your head as you inhale. Tuck the tailbone under as you exhale. Just do that one more. Breath in and back into pose of the child. So press your hips back, walk your hands forward. Let your upper body rock a little bit. Keep the breath flowing and smooth. Let your forehead rest. Pull yourself up as you inhale. Carry your body weight to the ground as you exhale. Take your hands behind your back. So it's our last little time in this variation. Exhale, release. Strong arms, breath in, lift your core. Tuck your tailbone. Press your hips back and you're in dog pose again. So from here, we're going to move on just a little bit. So this is our home base. Take your right leg in the air as you breathe in. Take a giant step it all the way forward to your hands. This is where you can put something under your knee if you want. You set up a little mat there, and that can make you nice and steady. So from here, you're in a kneeling lunge. So you're going to shoot your arms up really nice and high again. Same bind that we did when we were standing and on the ground, hands behind your back. Take a breath in. This time, tip forward at the hips, so the upper back has to work a little bit harder against gravity. It's called a baby arrow. So crown of head to tail and right out through the fist is that length of that arrow. As you exhale, bend the front knee. As you inhale, lift your arms, go up. Maybe there's a baby back bend. Then bring your hands to the floor as you exhale. You have an option. You can lift the back knee or keep it down and take your hands up to twist. So lift the right arm toward the right side of your body. Push through the left hand. Be anchored. Take a big breath and just explore great big cross of energy. Top hand, bottom hand, leg to head. One more breath in. Gently, gently release. Good. This time, drop that back knee again and rock backwards. So once again, you might want to use a block. And now you're coming into a front leg little hamstring stretch. So as you breathe in, try, if you can, to lengthen your front body. That's really challenging because it'll make you feel much more sensation in the back of the thigh or your hamstring. So as you exhale, rather than drop your body, think about taking your backside to the back of the mat. Just pull it back and keep the front heel digging in. Then as you inhale, look forward and up again. Feel that beautiful hamstring stretch. As you exhale, pull back, and you find that sometimes allows you to hinge at the hips a little bit. Do one more breath. And then gently release. So ease yourself forward. Plant your hands. Lift up the back knee as you breathe in. Step back into your dog pose. High push-up, low push-up, or the floor. So cobra or up dog. So carry your body weight down. If you're doing cobra, it's like me. This time the hands stay down. You press through the hands gently, but you try and use your upper back muscles to lift the back. So strengthen the upper back. Open through the chest. On your next exhale, drive through your hands, use your core, pick yourself up, press back. Take your left leg in the air as high as you can. Big breath in. As you exhale, you're going to step it all the way through. And if you want to put a towel underneath your back knee, you can. You're in a nice big kneeling lunge. From here, slide yourself up into that beautiful lunge. Square your hip. Kind of try and lower the tailbone down and pull up through the front thigh. And as you exhale, press forward and feel that beautiful stretch. And from here, you're going to take your arms all the way up and then take them behind your back like we did in standing. So that beautiful bind. Squeeze the shoulder blades and make that arrow. So that arrow we're making right now, we're trying to elongate through the front of our crown of our head And it's a lot of work. So you've got to pull the belly in at the same time as squeeze the upper back. You can take one more breath and then gently release. You take a breath in. You're going to place your hands on either side of your front foot. Lift the back knee if you want to. You don't have to. And shoot your left arm into a twist. So remember to be grounded through the forearm and feel the difference between kind of falling into that forearm and then pushing through the floor. So you always want to get some sense of strength. That's not much fun when that happens. Let's just try that again. So you're in that beautiful twist. And you're going to try and lift that arm up as much as you can. At the same time, be really steady and strong through that back leg. And then exhale, release. So drop the back knee to the ground. You're going to rock back into your hamstring like we did. This is where a block might be really useful for you. So start to extend the front leg, square your hips, lift the tailbone, and then think, I'm going to elongate my front body forward. So you're trying to get rid of rounding the back. And to do that, if you pull the bottom rib bones away from your groin so the front body is longer, just that action is sometimes enough. On your exhale, you're trying to press the tailbone toward the back of the mat without bending your floor knee, yeah? So it's all the action on the hips. As you inhale, you'll look forward, and you might feel a hinge in the hips, and you've got one more like that. So smooth breath in, and a smooth breath out. Release yourself forward again. Plant your hands as you lift the back leg and step your front leg into dog pose. Take a breath into your dog pose. Come forward. Lower yourself down. Either cobra like we did. If you want to do an up dog, it's just hands and feet. Yeah, you come to the top of your feet and you pull your upper bones, your upper arm bones back. So that's where the work is. Upper arm bones pull back and then belly lifts in. Take a big breath in. Use your core. Press up and back. Make a dog pose. Deep breath into your dog pose. Long exhale. Take your right leg back up in there as you breathe in. This time, bend that knee in the air and then just start to tip your hips so you're stacking the right one on top of the left. It's like a twist happening through the pelvis. And then square your hips back off again. Do that a couple of times and feel what it does to your floor, leg, hamstring, and calf. And so really feel that calf getting a stretch and hold that last one up and open. Try and square your shoulders a little. Press your chest back to your thighs. As you exhale, feel the body soften. And as you inhale, lift that leg up. This time, come forward and you're going to kneel. So you're going to put your right knee on the ground. And if you watch me, I'm going to place my right foot right off the side of the mat. So I'm kneeling. Lean on your front arm and take your top arm all the way up and over. So it's a beautiful side bend in a kneeling support. And from here, feel free to move that top arm around. Feel releasing the tricep if you want to. You can just keep still if you want to. And that's the joy of a yoga class. You always feel free to do little variations and options. It's not like some of our other classes where often everyone does the same thing. Take your arm in the air as you inhale, and then as you exhale, bring the hand back down. Square your foot around, and this time you're just going to pull the knee forward into what's called a pigeon pose. So this is where using a book sometimes can be useful under that front thigh. You can see I'm sitting on a block. Or if you don't need it, you can let your hips sink down to the ground. You can also bring that front foot forward a little bit more if you feel that gives you a better stretch. You can sit upright or you can let your body come down onto the ground. Then we just kind of let our body have a few moments of breath. And as you exhale, feel the tension, feel the tightness, and see if you can let it go just a little bit. So we're not trying to stretch very deeply. What we are trying to get a good release. Take a couple more breaths there. And then very gently release. Bring your hands back up. Push yourself up strongly. Lift your hips. Come back into your dog pose. Take a couple of breaths in dog pose. And we will do the other side. Left leg lifted up nice and high. Stay. Bend the left knee in the air. And then just tip. So take that left knee high. Let the hips rotate a little bit. Square your belly button back toward the floor. And repeat that. So you're turning and you're feeling the muscles having to work to move you, whilst other muscles have to lengthen to allow you to move, which is the joy, isn't it, of yoga, strong and long. Take that leg up nice and high as you breathe in. This time when you come forward, you're going to put the knee on the ground. Pick up the foot, pivot it off to the side, lean on your bottom arm, take your top arm up, reach it, and then have a little play. So the same as the other side, you can bend the elbow, should feel really nice. So we're focusing on a stretch through the side of the body, also up through the arm, and that's when moving the arm around can be fun for you. You can really play, like there's no wrong or right. You can make big wings, you can make rotations, or you can just sit. Sometimes just sitting and feeling everything lengthen. So you're looking for a line of strength, a line of length, and lots of lines of energy. So teaching your body how to be strong. And just a couple more breaths there. And then as you exhale, you'll pivot that hand around, coming into the pigeon pose on the other side. So you can shoot that front knee forward. You can put a block underneath your hip if you wish to. You can sink. And there is no wrong or right, So some people say heel in, some people say heel out. Most importantly is there's no stress in the front knee. There's no stress in the front groin. There's no stress in the back knee. There's no stress in the back. And some of you are going, really, this just feels good. How could it be stressful? And that's the interesting thing about yoga, is that what feels really comfortable for your body might be stressful for someone else's. And so always listen to your body. Some of my cues are going to be really useful, and some of them might be a little bit hard for you to figure out. So as you let your body settle here, just see if you can let your muscles soften. And in those moments of quiet, just notice if you immediately daydream. The challenge of yoga is to stay in the body experience, in the breath experience. As you inhale, lift yourself back up again, be strong to your hands, press back into a beautiful dog pose. How's dog pose starting to feel? Lift the tailbone again, go for lengthening in the spine. That's your first challenge. Don't worry about your legs. The first challenge of dog is, can you feel where your back is in space? Can you lift the butt cheeks so the lower back is a little lower? Can you get the sense that your shoulders are open enough that you can get long through the upper back? So we're not trying to overstretch. If your head comes down and touches the floor like mine is now, that's too far. Lift it back up, ears in between biceps. There's always a point where there is just enough stretch. Take one more breath in here. And we're going to walk our feet all the way back up to your hands. When you come up to your hands, do a little halfway lift as you breathe in. Fold forward as you breathe out. Come to a chair. So that's a squat, feet flat, knees bending. Shoot your arms forward, either horizontal or high. You're in a beautiful chair. So chair, we're trying to work our glutes and our quads. Okay to have your knees in front of your toes. Pretty functional as long as your heels are on the ground. So 5 breaths here with movement. So stand tall as you inhale, or maybe go back if you feel comfortable. Chair pose. Simultaneously, knees go forward, butt goes back. Inhale, lift up and open. Imagine you're agate. You're hinging at the knee and the hip together. Exhale as you sink. So 3 more if you're working with my breath. So of course, it doesn't matter how fast you go. It never matters really how many you do. Never even worry if you're playing around at home with movements. You don't always have to do the same thing from one side to the other because your body is essentially not balanced or asymmetrical. One more time, big breath in. And then sink to your chair. Bring your hands onto your hips as you do that. Good. Pull the elbows back. Feel how that upper back is engaged. You're in a little chair pose. So from our little chair pose, I'll just face you. You might want to turn sideways on your mat. And I'll square my mat off so it's easy to see. So you're going to take your feet out wide now. You're going to come into a wide chair pose. So a squat. So check with a squat. Your toes are out and your knees are not falling in. So if you can see your toes on the outside of your knees, you've collapsed them in. So you want to pull them so they sink right through. And then we're just going to work our way down and up a few times. And hands can be still on the hips if you want, pulling the elbows back. And so this is a really nice way to drop into that movement and feel where the tightness or the weakness is for you. And the cool thing about yoga is you'll learn where you're strong and where you're mobile. Hold one down, nice and deep. Good. Pull the elbows back again. Take the hands behind your back like you did. Punch your fist down. Take a breath in. Sink into your squat as you breathe out. Good. Now, turn your toes to the front of the mat, knees with you, and start to tip forward. So this is a challenging movement from a squat to a forward bend. If you need to take your hands away, you can. Otherwise, you might let your arms come up and over your head. And some of you will find that your arms don't go very far. If you don't want to use your arms, let go, place your hands on the floor. In a wide leg forward bend. Prayasarita Padottanasana is the yoga name. And the yoga names are so cool and complicated. But standing wide leg forward bend will do. Inhale, release your hands if they're bound, and bring your fingertips to the floor. Now from here, just bend the knees ever so slightly. And if you've got a block or a book, it might be good to place it underneath. You're going to go back into a twist. So anchor to your left arm. Elongate your front body forward, and with your right arm, bring it forward before you take it up, because that will help you get a long spine. And then start to turn towards your right, lifting the right arm up for a twist. Take a big breath there. Maybe you can straighten the legs a little bit, maybe not. It's your choice. But just feel that full body movement. That's so much work in the legs. Challenge to rotate the ribs. Core is on. Take a breath. Then gently release. Good. So set the other side. So bend the knees if you straighten them. Lengthen through your spine because one side might be different to the other in rotation. So anchor through your right arm. Be long and start to shoot your left arm forward, 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 forward. Then tip yourself around to the side as you peel. And you're trying to keep the belly button facing the floor as you turn just the ribs. Maybe straighten your legs a little bit. If that bothers your neck, you can look down. And as I was saying before, if you push through the floor hand rather than lean on it, you might get just a little bit more strength. Take a big breath in, make it feel good. And then very gently release, bending your knees. Beautiful. Keep the block. Take a little lateral squat into one side. So this might challenge your ankle. We haven't turned the foot out yet. It might challenge your inner thigh. Take a breath or two, come through the middle, and then gently tip across to the other side. Good. So hopefully you're nice and warm now. Breath or two. And then just rock from side to side, letting your hips drop. You've still got the feet squared at the moment, and you're trying to keep the inner arch up. Okay, so for many of us, we get flat feet, and those little inner arches kind of get flattened more than they need to. When you feel balanced from side to side, we're now going to turn the toes out to the side like a 45-degree angle. Then as you bend into one side, let the ball of the foot lift. So it's a deeper lateral lunge. You can use your block. You can be fairly high. Maybe if you've done a bit more mobility, your body will be lower. And lots of strength in this squatting legs. Keep the quad on. Shoot yourself through the middle when you're ready. Peel over to the other side, the toes turned out. You've got this extended leg, trying not to feel any stress at the back of the knee. So muscles are on, feel really strong and bound. Beautiful. Then come back through the middle. We're going to do a triangle. So from here, take your block around to one side of your mat, place it on the inside of your foot or a book, or you don't have to, and then bring yourself up to standing. So triangle, we've got one foot, the front leg for you facing the front of your mat, the back leg for you facing the side of your mat. Pull up through the belly and lengthen your arms as you breathe in. So hips go towards your back leg, front arm goes towards your front. Reach, 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 and keep the underneath waist long. At some stage, touch the block with your hand and shoot the arm up. Take a big breath in. This is your last big standing movement. So really work your legs as best you can. Engage your core. Beautiful triangle. Heaps of arm variations. Feel free to use those. And then gently as you release, bend your front knee. If you've got a block or a book, you can pick it up. You can turn your toes to reverse the movement. You bend your knee and place the block down if you wish to, and then set yourself up for your triangle. So imagine you're wearing Skims, those really tight athletic pants, and you can feel them pulling it in. So skin, muscle, bone. So you got to teach yourself how to get strong. It doesn't just happen. Lengthen your spine, float your arms horizontally, tip your hips one way, reach arm forward, forward, forward. Underneath waist is long. Plant your hand where you can. And if you don't have a block, I'm not a fan of leaning on that knee because you're pushing the knee against the hinge, yeah? So better off to soften that knee slightly and bring the hand on the inside and then just learn to be strong. Like when you lean on your arm, you collapse, yeah? So you want to use the core to be strong. Anything you wanted to do with that upper arm. And then very gently release. We're going to bring ourselves down to the ground. So wherever you're facing, make yourself comfy on the ground. A little bit of core and one nice deep stretch. So onto your back for your core exercise today. I'm going to be lying on the ground and making a tabletop. So there's front core, there's back core, there's side core. We're going to work a little bit of all of your core. So tabletop for some. If you don't want tabletop, I'll show you that easier modification. If you want to be more passive, you'll take your feet down, knees wide, and you'll just gently walk from side to side. You can hold this one in a little bit of a stretch, or you can keep moving. So that's your option if you don't want to do a tabletop rotation. So bring your feet back together. Use your core. Don't let it bulge. You've got to pull it in as if there's a band around it. Lower back. Try not to have it over arch, just a baby arch. One leg lifts at a time without any popping movement. Glue your knees, glue your feet, and then just gently let your knees rock side to side using your breath. And if you can, really get the sense that it's the muscles in the center of your body that are moving you from side to side. So pull in the core as you do that. Make it really strong. If you want to challenge yourself, there's a few variations. You can take your knees a little lower. As you do that, try not to touch the floor. And there's no momentum. So squeeze that top waist and feel how that pulls you back up. And some of you will find that you've got one side that's just a little bit more stable than the other or has more rotation. But as I said earlier, try and imagine you're pulling from the middle of your body. So yes, you need muscles to hold the legs in the air, but they're locked on. They're just holding the legs. All the rotation is coming from the center muscles. So the muscles that attach the pelvis and the ribs together, you let your ribs go a little bit as well. We're not trying to anchor the ribs too much. Lower back doesn't like to be twisted too much. You want the twist to come through the whole body. One or two more, making it feel comfy for you. And if you're done, you're just going to hug your knees back into your chest whenever you feel like it. And if you want to continue that, you can. Otherwise, knees to chest if you're not there. Give yourself a little rock and see how this feels. You don't want to feel any compression in the groin. And if you would like to, from here, come into what's called a happy baby, a few variations. One is just to keep the knees and pull them wide to your armpits. Just let yourself relax. Another one might be to bring your hands on the inside or the outside of your feet and start to pull your knees down towards your armpits. And you can rock a little bit from side to side in this position if you wish to. And then gently release. Take a hold of your right leg, gently extend it in the air. This is where you can use a strap or a band. Floor leg can be bent or floor leg can be extended. Let your eyes close. Revisit where you were at the very beginning of the class on all fours. And I encourage you to close your eyes and try and become internalized and just feel your own body. How does it feel now? Have you made a little bit of a change? And gently release, change legs. So options, always bands, straps, even a towel, you can loop it around. And let that hamstring relax. Remember, you can straighten the floor leg down. And just know that getting rid of some of that muscle tension eases some of your mental tension as well. And then very gently release. Hug both knees into your chest. See if you can give yourself a little rock up into seated. When you come into seated, you're going to take your right leg over a bent left leg or a straight left leg. Both butt cheeks sit on the ground. Give yourself a beautiful little twist. So we're almost at the end. So push your back arm. Take a breath in and rotate. And gently come through the middle. Reverse whatever you're doing with your legs. A nice little twist. Always nice to finish with a twist. And then gently back through the center. Take your legs out in front. You can have them bent and just let your body relax there. You can pull back a little bit and stretch back. You can start to walk your feet a little bit forward if you wish to, and come into a little bit more of a straighter forward bend. You can inch your feet forward. It's your last movement before you gently ease yourself down to the ground. So take your last 3 deep breaths here. Now, when you've done your last breath, slide yourself up. Ease yourself down onto your back. If you find lying on your back uncomfortable, put a pillow or something on your knees. Lie yourself down through the length of your spine. So spend a moment shimmying around, like get rid of that restless energy and see if you can bring yourself into a comfortable resting pose. So Shavasana, lying on the ground, arms a little bit out from the side, legs just a little bit apart, and close your eyes and relax. And I'll come back to you in about 90 seconds. Let's see if you can really spend this bit of time to relax. And if you find your thoughts carry you away, re-engage with physical sensation. Go on a little journey around your body, noticing where you have tension and trying to consciously let it go. And if you find yourself drifting away, back to the body or back to the breath, and try and place your awareness on the inhale, watch the journey. Place your awareness on the exhale. And when you feel ready, wiggle your toes and fingers. Bring some energy back into your body. In your own time, roll to a side and ease yourself to seated. From your seated position, we always like to acknowledge everyone for their energy, their commitment, their discipline, their practice, their support. And so we bring our hands to our forehead as we breathe in. We exhale, we gently bow just to everyone's energy and support. And the word we say is namaste. Have the most wonderful rest of your evening or day wherever you are. My name is Claire. Feel free to chat with me, ask me any questions. Have a lovely day.